Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the Thorfire TK05. This is a new multi-chemistry AA light that Thorfire put out. I'm really glad to have the opportunity to be able to review this guy. Thorfire hasn't put out a ton of new lights lately, and one of the things is whenever I check, my affiliate sales and all that, I see that you guys buy a lot of Thorfire products, and that's mainly because they're really inexpensive and they offer a really good value and quality for the money. They're not the best on the market, they're not the brightest on the market, but they are one of the better values, and you guys of course always recognize that because we are a budget-based channel here looking for good gear for a good price, and this is absolutely no exception. So we're going to open this. I've already opened it, guys. I've actually had this for a minute, so but it had a nice easy box to put it back into. So this comes with a couple of O-rings and your instructions. Very simple user interface, which I'm sure you guys will appreciate. You can see I really like Thorfire's knurling that they're doing on their flashlights. I think it just looks very aggressive, it looks nice, and gives an overall nice appearance to the light. So what is this thing? It's a very simple multi-chemistry, which means it can use alkalines, nickel metal hydride rechargeables, or your 14500 lithium batteries. Now your 14500 lithiums are going to give you the highest output. You have to think tortoise versus the hare. 14500s are the hare, your alkalines are the tortoise. Alright, so we're going to look at the numbers real quick. We'll give you a quick peekaroo at that. That way you guys can just kind of freeze frame and check that out. So there's your modes. You can see you go from 600 down to 13, and your times change accordingly, as you can see. IPX8, all that fun jazz. XPG3, which is a nice up-to-date LED, not an oldie, guys. It's actually a new one of the newest releases for the XPG. And we will refocus here. So simple operation. You have your side switch to turn this thing on. It has mode memory as well, so it will remember your last mode, and you're going to cycle between your 4 modes. That's it. Double click for strobe. Very simple. And when the light is off, a long click to turn it off. You can double click from off, and that brings you automatically to strobe as well. The switch on this is actually very reactive and very sensitive. I have had the switch go off in my pocket several times, so if you are carrying this, you do have to be aware that that is very easy to set off, and you're going to want to do a mechanical lockout of the light. Now what that means is the threads for the tail cap are anodized. You can back it off just like a tenth of a turn, and it will lock the light out, and you don't have to worry about that. So I do want to point that out. It's a very nice feature that most flashlight companies put into their products, but it's just something to point out because it is such a sensitive button. But it is actually, it's a metal button. It works really well. It's one of the more accurate buttons I've seen on a flashlight in a while. I think nowadays we tend to get a lot of slop in these side switches, so that is kind of cool. The pocket clip is just friction held on there into that little ring. You have two lanyard spots on one side. See how easy that is to, even when you're grabbing, it's very easy. Kind of a recessed hole here. You could definitely glue a magnet in there if you wanted to make this a magnetic base, no problem at all. It has very good anti-roll. You can see, the pocket clip helps obviously, but even without the pocket clip, these flats on here do a very good job. You have a slightly crenulated bezel with a, looks like a very lightly textured orange peel. It's almost smooth with that XPG3, which gives it a really nice throw on it. As you can see, it kind of has that hot spot and then the spill around it, so this does throw for a small light. It throws a pretty good long distance for a AA. Quality rise is what you exactly expect out of a Thorfire. You can see we have very nice anodized threads. They're very smooth, O-ring sealed. It came lubed from the factory, and very nice.
And very nice.
Very nice. Yep, buddy, you got it. So the springs are nice and thick. The tail cap, everything about it seems to be built exactly on par with what you would expect from a Thorfire. Thorfires, like I said, are not the brightest flashlights on the market. They're not the surefires, but what you are is able to get a really good flashlight for $20-something. So what you're going to see is, hopefully you've already seen, is some footage cut in here showing this in use. But overall, guys, this is a really fantastic value for the money, and these multi-chemistry lights are a very good investment because you can, if you want, use the 14500, or you can just stick with regular alkalines if you're nervous about lithium. So it gives you a huge range of what you can use, and this is just a very good, very pocketable, very friendly, inexpensive flashlight that's very easy to use, that I think is really good for beginners and the more advanced person together. So kind of neat and very good, and very glad to see, you know, Thorfire back in the game with a nice AA flashlight. Their TG06 was one of the nicer budget AA flashlights that you could get, and that was also a multi-chemistry light, and it was actually very well renowned for being like a really great value. It put out a lot of light compared to its cost, which was like, what, 16, 17 bucks. This guy's a little bit more money, but it's also, I think, a little better of a better looking of a flashlight, and it is an E-switch as opposed to being a real, a tail clicky like the TG06. So overall, guys, I think it's a good addition to the collection, and at that price point they're selling this for, I think it's like 24, 25 right now. But knowing Thorfire, this is a light that's probably going to go on sale for 19 and maybe even 15, you know, around the holidays. So it's definitely something to look out for as far as being able to get this relatively cheaper. But yeah, this is kind of neat. I like it. I like the price. I like its simplicity. I like that it's, you know, putting out good output. 600 lumens is up there. There's only maybe 3 or 4 other lights on the market that are putting out more than that. So it's very competitive for the price. And those lights that are putting out 700-800 lumens with a 14500, of course, are going to cost you probably double what this flashlight does. I really don't think, and this is where Thorfire always does fantastic, I don't think you're going to find another flashlight for 25 bucks that outperforms this. So good to know.